Hey guys, what's going on? Just want to make another update video of my KR build. And as you can see, I moved forward with the steering knuckles and wheel hexes and axles. Really hope this comes out, but axles are pretty damn good quality. They look like they're made out of like a spring steel. So that's good. The only thing I don't like, see these little clips right here that go in between the casters and the casters and the knuckles. They are called quick clips. Basically, you don't have to take this all apart like on an Associated when you want to change your wheelbase or anything. Basically what you do is you grab a hold of the tab back here and they pull out. That's why they're called quick clips. And you can either put two down here, two up here, and the back has them as well. See right there and right there. The backs went on perfect, and they're nice and they're a lot thicker, obviously, as you can tell. Those are pretty thick. The fronts, however, they're a lot thinner, and I have my concerns that these might possibly pop out. I don't think so, but yeah, you never know. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on these. I'm not too concerned about the backs, though. Like I said, those are nice and thick. But yeah, so let's see. Last time you guys saw, if you watched the last video, none of this was done. I got the camber and steering links on. Of course, this, camber and the steering's not set. That's why these aren't even on here, because these are way off. The angle's like way extreme, so they're not set, but at least they're on right now. And I have the gearbox all built, the diff is all built, the slipper is on. And if you saw the last video again, you'll see that I had just the halves of the gearbox on, the aluminum part. And basically, oh, and I should add, look at that motor plate. That is a nice motor plate. It's all aluminum, of course. It is nice and thick and sturdy. It's got like kind of like a two-layer design going on there. That's a really nice motor plate. It way better than the factory team one on Associated. Way better. It's a little different how you mount that too. On the 4.2, your screws come in this way and screw to the plate here. On this, the Cougar, they come in from this way. The screws are underneath the slipper assembly. So that's pretty interesting. It's kind of neat how how those two halves come together. If you can see down there, the difference between the bottom is the alloy halves, and then the top, right where, you see this is all aluminum, and then you can tell where the two halves come together because this is composite. So you place your diff in there, and you basically plop all this down on top of it, and it's held on by that one, these two, and then this carbon fiber plate, which has your studs right there on the other end. And then I'm pretty sure this is for the battery strap. You unhook it from here and it lifts up. Like this is supposed to be like a hinge. So yeah, all of this went together great, just like everything else has so far. No issues. You can see the diffs. Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to see that. Basically say Schumacher on them. They have like a copper. And I'm sorry, not diffs. I say diffs, CVAs. They have like a copper look to them, and they're basic CVA build. There's nothing special. Very, very similar to that. Or the factory, Associated Factory CVAs. Keep wanting to call them diffs. But these are pretty good quality. I think they're made out of the same, well, obviously that's all one piece. But I'm pretty sure they're made out of the same material as the front axles, which is also very reminiscent of Serpent. The Serpent Spider has spring steel, and it looks just like these. So that's interesting. And even though it may look like it kind of in the video here, those turnbuckles or tie rods are not the same material. See, they're just silver. I think they are titanium though, because they're pretty strong. Thank God. So far, that's all what's going on. Like I said, if you watched my last video, I basically just had all that done in the front, minus the A-arms and casters and knuckles. But it's moving along pretty good, guys. So far, no issues. I didn't have anybody to hold my camera. I would have showed you guys some really cool stuff that I like. If you can see this hinge pin, it's that kind of design where it's basically a hinge pin and a big long God, I can't even think. I'm sorry. It's got threads right here. Like this much of the hinge pin is threads. So basically it slides through like a typical hinge pin. But then instead of having those stupid little grommet screws that usually screw in back here somewhere and hold the hinge pin in, it doesn't need it because that is a 5/64 screw, hex screw. So if you guys have never dealt with that before, yeah, it just slides in and screws in right here. I do wish, you know what would be cool though, is if there wasn't just threads on this side, but here and here. That would be cool, because then you'd have like double threads, double the strength, I don't know. But yeah, if you guys have never, and they are in the front too. Right there. I know it's kind of hard to see in this video, but yeah, the same thing. What's interesting too, everything that you're looking at that I built, let's get a top view here. Axles, CVAs, gearbox, A-arms, steering linkage, everything I've done thus far, I have only used 2 wrenches and an Allen key. A lot of this build so far, yeah, you're not going to be able to see that, 5/64 wrench did most of this work. That's pretty cool. Obviously the little screws on the diff, you know, when you screw the gear diff cap on, those are I think 1.5 millimeter or 12 millimeter. I almost had 2 of those actually strip out, so I had to use this little Allen key because I don't have a small enough driver to properly put those on. So it took me a while to get them all nice and seated. I'd use this damn thing. I wish they would put, I know it would be kind of hard, but I wish they'd put like a little bit bigger screws on the diff cap. So yeah, we're still moving along. I'm still going to continue working on it here. And it's really cool because when you seat this down on top of your diff and basically connect the halves together, see, there you go, you can get a better look. If you watch the last video, you basically, this is aluminum, this is a composite. You set your diff down in there and then put this down on top of it, and then it sits right here. And then in the front, now you're not going to be able to see it because this carbon fiber plate's on, but it basically goes together like a puzzle piece. Just perfect. Sat right in there perfectly. Had just enough tolerance to where it wasn't too tight, wasn't too loose, which I had some issues with that damn associated one. But this one, well, yeah, went together like a damn puzzle piece. It was nice. I built the diff according to the manual. I used the 2 shims on the outside and then the 1 shim on the inside. And it wasn't too tight, wasn't too loose. I went with the 1,000 weight diff oil. That's what I run in most of my gear diffs. Seems to work pretty good at the track I spend most of my time on. Slipper went together great. It's got one of those small slipper nuts like Durango uses. I don't like those. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but yeah, I just can't get over how good quality that motor plate is. Very nice. Strong and sturdy too. That one, I've changed motors in that one so many times, the motor plate's got little indents from the motor screws. I don't think this is happening because you see how thick that is. Look how thick that is compared to my tip of my finger here. That is a thick motor plate. I don't think that's going to happen changing motors on this one. So anyway, guys, I'm going to keep going, and if you don't see a video up after this one is loaded, then that means I've taken a break. But yeah, once again, so far so good. Everything fits together like I was hoping it would.